Hey everybody, it's Dave from Go Big, and today we have another episode of Community Spotlight where I pick some comments, answer some questions, and just talk about things in general from YouTube. So let's just jump right into it. We're going to start with this one because I felt like this needed to be addressed. Toys Complete Me says, yeah, this dude's not very bright. I don't know if he sells cards, but if he does, I'd steer clear. Okay, so let's talk about that comment. First of all, that comment was from these boxes, the Disney ChronoZ, and he's referring to, from what I can tell, the film getting peeled off of the cards. So let's chat about this. So here we go. Normally, I let stuff like this roll off. You can disagree with me all day, but if you question my intelligence and tell people to stay away from my business, I'm going to definitely stand up for myself. And I don't know this person, and I'm not going to sit here and go after them personally. But the funny thing is, they admit in their comment that they don't even know if I sell cards. So yes, I do sell cards. And then he warns people about my business. So here's the thing. I have over 7,000 orders on eBay. I have over 5,000 positive feedback. I list all my own cards. I ship my cards. I package my cards the way that I would want them received. I have a lot of people that buy from me regularly because I package well. I ship really quick. And if someone buys a bunch of cards and combines shipping and I can save them some money, I'll refund the difference. So I'm just trying to think how to answer this. As far as the film on the boxes, so the boxes were provided to me as compensation for my honest review of the product. And I was asked by the distributor to give a full review, give my honest opinion. They asked me to showcase the cards, showcase the film, and peel film off the cards to show the cards. So I was not going to save some money for myself by not doing what they asked me to do. I'm still giving my honest opinion. And my job at the moment is for the review, it's to showcase the cards and provide an honest review to the viewer. So that's how I operate. And if you have a problem with me peeling film off of cards on a YouTube video, that's obviously your opinion and you're entitled to it. However, to call me not very bright and ask people to stay away from my business when you clearly don't even know anything about it is kind of lazy, and it's just not appropriate. So I don't appreciate that, and you're welcome to respond however you'd like, but to call me out on my intelligence and tell me to have people stay away from my business when you clearly don't even know anything about me or my business is just not okay. And that's why I'm standing up for myself. So we will move on from that comment and move on to something a little bit more fun than that one. So, thank you for that. The Collector's Lab AU. Like many, you have not only inspired me to get back into the hobby, but after my son saw one of your videos, it was the inspiration to start our own channel. That's absolutely amazing. I've said it before, I love hearing when you have parents and their kids getting into the hobby. And then, I mean, there's been so many little YouTube channels that have started up from people that watch my stuff, and I'm totally humbled by it. I mean, I don't even understand it, but it's great, and I love to hear that. Well, I don't agree with everything you say, but that's the beauty of a healthy hobby community, in that we can all appreciate the opinions of others even if we don't agree. Thank you. So opinions that don't agree are fine. Other things, not okay. My question to you is that if you didn't have your YouTube channels, how would you chase the cards for your PC? That's a really good question. Would it be strictly eBay or whatnot? Or would you still buy hobby and blaster boxes? Or would it be a combination of both? Thank you for sharing your passion, knowledge, and insights. Keep hunting. Okay, so let's talk about how I would chase cards for my PC. Here is my opinion. I think your best bet for chasing cards for a PC is card shows. Mainly because you can go there and have something in your hand and see it in the moment and talk to the seller eye to eye. That is the best place to buy a card. 100%. Now, I understand that we always don't get the opportunity to go to them all the time. So then it comes down to eBay and whatnot. So there's a common denominator between the two, but let's talk about it. So eBay gives you the chance to look at the card and try to inspect it a little bit better, but pictures don't always show everything, okay? You can have a couple good pictures or scans of a card, but you might not be able to see a crease or an edge or a corner that's just not right. And then you get the card and you're like, oh, crap. So that comes into trusting the person you're buying from, that you know puts out a quality product and stands behind it and is willing to work with you if something comes to you that's not agreeable to you. So, and with that comes packaging. I mean, guys, I'm not kidding you. I have had cards put into top loaders with no sleeves, just thrown in an envelope. Like no packing around it, no card defenders, no bubble wrap. That's how stuff gets shipped. So even if you have a card that looks good and it gets shipped to you poorly, that's unfortunate. So when it comes to eBay, you know, the pictures are nice, but you also want to try to look at the feedback and also find somebody that's reputable that you know is going to stand behind what they're selling. That also comes with Whatnot. Whatnot is so much fun. I love Whatnot. I'm on it weekly. Every few days a week, I'm actually on it. I sell on Whatnot. Now, I'm very picky on Whatnot, what I sell. You guys see in my YouTube videos that I pull cards away all the time. I have stacks of cards that I let my kids play with that just would not pass. Like if I look at it and I'm like, if someone sold me this, would I be happy? And if I say no, I don't sell it. So I do know what I'm doing, by the way, in selling cards, buddy. So if you're going to buy on Whatnot, number one, reputable person that you know is going to stand behind their product. So there's lots of people out there that sell cards that I know. Just randomly throwing them out there, no particular order. DLC Collectibles, Hoth Hanger Antiquities, Father and Sons Hobbies sells cards. Popcorn Culture sells cards. These are people on Whatnot that I know that sell cards that would stand behind their product. I know I'm probably forgetting some that do the single shows. Gundark is another one. You know, but that's the thing, is building that community, getting referrals, because you don't know what you could possibly get. You could get crap passed on to you. We don't want that. So if you can't do the card show, eBay and Whatnot are good, just reputable people. Then as far as ripping hobby boxes and blasters, of course I'm going to rip those because it's fun. You guys know it's fun. You know, collecting your PC is one thing, but if you're ripping a hobby box to chase down, you know, a blue parallel numbered out of 50, well, on a certain card, it's an expensive rip. So you can't go into hobby boxes and blaster boxes trying to search for cards for your PC. But if you enjoy ripping the cards, which a lot of us do, that's why I would do it. So yes, I would not take away the ripping of boxes of cards. And I personally buy a lot from eBay, and then just people I know. You know, there's people that know what I like, and if they come across something I like, they message me. And that's what it is about building a community on here and Whatnot and Instagram and Facebook and all the social medias, is try to get good people together that can, you know, trade and sell cards. So good luck with your channel. I'm glad that you and your son are starting that, and I'm glad that you said that it's okay not to disagree with people, because you're 100% right. It is okay to disagree with people, and as long as it's a healthy conversation, we all like that. So thank you for your comment. Okay, next one. Jim Pickett. Dave, really enjoy your videos. They are a source of light and fun in a hobby that can have some dark, greed-filled corners. My love is for vintage Star Wars and have been filling out my collection, started in '77. I would enjoy seeing your take on the Wonder Bread set, my personal favorite, and on collecting vintage wax wrappers. The art really takes me back to '77 to '83. Keep the great content coming. That's awesome to hear. So let's talk about both of those. Number one, the Wonder Breads. I actually have started collecting those, and I have a handful of them here. These are the only ones I have. And I have Stormtrooper here in a 5. I have this X-Wing in an 8. I have the Falcon in a 6. Han in a 7. And Leia in a 6. So these are what I have. So I know about these. I don't know as much as I should, but I wanted to get into these more and maybe do some content with them. But just for those of you that are not aware, these were from 1977, and it was from Wonder Bread, the bread company. You could get these cards in an actual loaf of bread that was specially marked. You also could get these cards by writing in for a set. You could like do a mail-in for a set. These cards, like a lot of the vintage Star Wars back in 77, you know, people saw these and didn't think about 2026 and PSA, you know, and the values of them. So the values of these are very good, especially if they're highly graded. They're hard to find in a high grade, and the main reason for it is not what you think. It's not the loaf of bread, it's the black. So the black borders show almost everything, and it's hard to get a real good grade on a black bordered card, and that's what makes them rare in a high grade. But these are really cool cards. There's only 16 of them in the set. If you ever come across any and it's a reasonable price, I would say grab one, because they're only going up in value. And I mean, I just like the cards. They're so OG. You know, I love the OG movies. I love the vintage. It's one of my favorite stuff. But more to come with that. I'm trying to figure out what I can do with it, but that's what I have. As far as the vintage pack wrappers, all right, I cannot take credit for this. I have to give my credit to my buddy Popcorn Culture. So he was putting them in these top loaders. This is really cool. So I have a lot of vintage packs. I do have a series. I have 2 series ones, I believe. But this is one way you can definitely showcase them. These are collectible. These do have value. There are people that purchase these. So if you ever do open any kind of vintage wax pack, try to be careful and not tear it and then spread it out. And, you know, people dig these. So I've got all sorts of different vintage wax packs, wrappers that I've kept. I have not thrown any of them away. I have a whole box full. But yeah, definitely something that's collectible, and I love it too. It's the old OG Star Wars, so one of my favorites. But thanks for the comment. I appreciate it. Next one, J Potters 66. I recently got back into collecting cards as I approached the big 4-0. Well, early happy birthday. I'm not Star Wars collector yet, but I'm really enjoying your channel and appreciate all the useful knowledge you're handing out. I do have a question. What's your favorite non-Star Wars set ever? Thanks, and stay awesome. Well, thank you for the comment. I sat here for quite a while and thought about it, and I couldn't come up with an answer. Because I like so much. I love ripping vintage, and I think that's what you asked me for. Well, you didn't. You said non-sports. I like ripping vintage. I think vintage is really fun. And it's cool. Like I opened some A-Team packs. I opened some Batman packs. I've opened Ninja Turtles packs, Terminator. Like I dig that stuff. So to think of one that's my favorite set is tough. But if I had to like narrow down, you said non-Star Wars, not Star Wars, non-sports. It's really hard for me to say. Just being honest with you, I can't think of one thing. But let me give you a little insight of how I collect. Okay, so I know this is not non-sports, so bear with me, but you'll understand. So one of my favorite sets to collect is 2020 Donruss football, okay? So in case you guys didn't know, I have a sports card channel too, and I'm a big Green Bay Packer fan, and I collect Green Bay Packer rookie quarterback cards. That's my thing. For Star Wars, I have all sorts of characters I collect. Like I like to collect Rey, and I like to collect Rey and all the blue parallels. So, but this was just to show you, like, so when I go after a set, I like to collect all the cards that person has in the set. So, like, here's an example, okay? And I know this is sports, but bear with me. But like once I collect these, then I move on to something else. That's how I think, and I'm sure that's what you're asking is what does my brain do? So in Donruss football, when it was licensed, I don't know how they're going to do it now with not being licensed. There's all sorts of different parallels. These are all rookie cards of Jordan Love. And like I love collecting all the different parallels. Now, every single card you see here every single one, I graded. I graded all these. So I chased these down and inspected them and sent the ones in that were good and got them graded. Okay? That's what I like to do. I like to hunt my cards. I like to try to find the ones that look the best. I like to inspect them and send them in and get 10s. That's what I love to do. Now these cards here, I didn't buy these as an investment. I bought these as I like this player and I'm collecting his rookie cards. These are mine. Now if I ever had to sell them for some reason, sure, I would sell them. But my goal is to pass them down to my son. And, you know, because Green Bay Packer fans are very loyal, and I have all sorts of Packer cards, and I just want to pass them down like cards were passed to me when I was young. So to answer your question, you know, the sets, it all depends on what I'm collecting at the time. But I appreciate your comment. The last comment for today. And before I read this, again, guys, throw up in the comments, especially this video, if you have questions. I really like to scan through these the most to see what you guys are saying, because I want to answer as much as I can on YouTube. It's a lot easier for me to make a video like this than it is for me to go through every comment on 2 YouTube channels. I just don't have the time. So throw up comments, you know, questions, whatever you got, and maybe you'll be shown off on a video coming up soon. So here we go. The Vigil. Dave, I've always loved collectibles. I used to collect cards in particular when I was much younger, but have been uninterested for many years. Over the past year and some changes, I have binged all your videos. You've absolutely inspired the card collector in me again. God bless. P.S. I am looking for the 2023 Star Wars Sapphire Lightsaber title card number 133, numbered, if you know anyone. Okay. So first of all, I know what card exactly you're talking about because I got one right here. So what he's talking about is this right here. This is from 2023 Jedi Return of the Jedi Sapphire. These hands, actually, in case you guys didn't know, are George Lucas's hands. George Lucas was holding up that lightsaber in this picture. So this is a recreation of the 83, but then they Sapphire treated it. And then there's different parallels that you could get numbered. So this is my personal one. I will not let go of this card. I love it. But what he's asking for is the numbered. So you can find them on eBay, but one person I know for sure that is going to have some of those is Popcorn Culture. You can find his link in the description. He's on Whatnot. He's a close friend of mine. I guarantee you that man has some of those cards. Now, whether or not he wants to sell them, I don't know. He likes his Sapphire, but I know he's got them. I know for a fact he's got those cards. I don't know what, but he does. So if you guys want to check that out, again, Popcorn Culture, I've said it before, does Whatnot live streams on Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. Wednesdays during the day at lunch, and then Tuesdays and Thursdays for his breaks. A lot of you come in and just hang out, and that's so cool. And it's fun just to talk with you guys. I try to get there when I'm done with work. But I would reach out to him and let him know that you talked to me, and he can probably find something for you. So there you guys go. That's the community spotlight today. I appreciate all you guys very much. You guys are the reason that I'm able to do this, and I appreciate all your support. I love the likes, the comments, the shares, the hypes. You guys are the best. And while you're waiting for more content, make sure you check this video out up here, and we'll see all you guys next week on Thursday for the community spotlight. Peace.